All right. Good morning, y'all. Welcome to the Positivity Push with Antonio Santoro, and my guest, Ronald Godbee, is in the house. I'm so excited.
We're in the building.
Yeah, we're in the building, right?
Yeah.
Come this way a little bit.
I've always wanted to say that, man.
In the building,
I
right.
don't get to say that on the kind of interview.
So, right. So it's good stuff. Thank you guys for joining us. Miss Zerlina, thank you for joining.
Z.
So y'all, if you will, y'all know what to do. Y'all swipe and invite like it's Periscope. Y'all share this broadcast. Share it on your Facebook page. We want to push this positivity this morning. Push some rich conversation. It's going to be so good. I'm really excited. Thank you guys again for joining us, waking up and winning with us this weekend here on the Positivity Push. So y'all share. Get this out there. And we will start here shortly. Y'all know how it is.
You guys should have been in on the conversation that we've been having prior to coming on. So if this show is anything like the conversation that we've been engaging in, I really think you would want to share this. So.
Yes. It was really good. I mean, anytime I get around him, it's like he pulls things out of me. I'm pulling things out of him. We're like just bouncing off each other. So it's good stuff. We're going to talk about the leader within. So hopefully we're going to wake up that leader within you this morning and get you on your way this weekend. All right?
And man, it's just not going to be the normal church
No.
conversation.
We're
going to delve into the depths of leadership.
Right. It's
on
good.
many different levels. And man, it's really going to be impactful for each of you. So,
right.
Yeah, so get somebody on this. Let's
share. Miss Jonna, thank you. Thank you, Michelle, for being on. Y'all share this thing, and we're going to get started. Yep. Let me share as well. I didn't share on mine. Good morning. Miss Jane Jenkins, thank you for joining us. Thank you. Here we go. Miss Jonna says good morning.
Good morning, Miss Jonna. Come on, I need to see some shares, some comments.
Yes, and you know, he's usually up this early with his order of the day. So I was telling them, I was like, maybe that's why you missed yesterday, because you knew you were going to be on this one.
Absolutely. Now, I was saving up.
Right.
So you guys get a double portion today.
There you go. All right. Here's my intro. Let's do this. Good morning, positive people. This is your host of WCOM's The Positivity Push, Antonio Santoro, here in the hot seat. Welcome to the show this morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, WCOM FM, Chapel Hill, Carrboro Community Radio. Join us in the studio on Facebook.com/The Positivity Push. Go like the page, share the broadcast, and join us as we talk about the leader within. All right. Good morning, Mom. Thanks for being faithful every week. I love it. Good morning, y'all. So for those that are on, I've got my pastor, Pastor Ronald Godbee, in the studio this morning. We are going to be talking about the leader within. We're going to be talking about leadership principles, strategies, and his journey as a great leader that he is. So it's going to be a great show. Y'all please share on your Facebook page. Get people on. It's going to be really, really good. So thank you guys for joining us this morning.
Yeah, I want to challenge you guys. Share.
Yes.
You got to spread this. Don't be selfish. This is going to be an amazing show. I mean, when we get together,
right,
something just
it's awesome.
Happens.
Right. He was here. He got here a little bit early, 7:30 this morning. We were just bouncing things off. So it's really, really good. So
yeah, we should have recorded that.
I know,
man.
We should have.
It started right there.
Should have.
So,
exactly.
Man, it's just going to be a great morning.
Yeah.
And I want you to get this to somebody. So you have a responsibility to get this to somebody. It's going to unlock some things in you. It's going to help you discover the leader within.
Yeah.
And I promise you, you're going to be better because of the time spent. We're so grateful. I'm taking over his show today.
This is it. He's taking over.
I'm taking over.
It's the Godbee takeover.
It's the Godbee takeover. Right. We're taking over the positivity push.
Right.
We're being positive.
That's
today.
Right. He's positively taking over. So it's good. I'm excited.
Man, I'm honored to be here. And y'all talk to us.
Yes, please comment. Share if you have questions about leadership as we dive into this thing this hour. It's going to be really good. Feel free to share and comment questions, anything like that. So it's really good. We're here in Chapel Hill, Carborough, but we are broadcasting worldwide over the radio waves and locally here in Durham, Chapel Hill, and in Carborough. So thank you guys for the hearts. Yes, Miss Jonna, I see you laughing this morning. Good. Good morning, Miss Smith. Thank you for joining us, waking up and winning with us this morning, and calling forth the leader within. So it's good.
But he does a great job. And so I'm excited to be here with him today. And man, no, in all sincerity, I'm honored to be here. And it's so good to see people emerging and doing their thing. And any way that I can support the people who support us every week. And he supports in an amazing way. And so it's my privilege and my honor to be here with you today,
Thank
sir.
you so much.
Man,
Thank you.
We're going to do this.
I'm telling you, to have his stamp of approval, I know we got to start in like 20 seconds. His stamp of approval on this radio thing, it's over. Like, I'm done. I'm good. He can take over.
We're going to do this, man.
Let's do it. All right. That was Pompeii by Bastille, and that was a good wake-up song to start the Positivity Push here live at 8 a.m. With Antonio Santoro, your host. I want to welcome all the listeners this bright and early Saturday morning on 103.5 over the airwaves for your dose of positivity. Also, the viewers, that's right, the viewers on Facebook Live, go to facebook.com/The Positivity Push for a little bit more to join us in the studio. This is your feel good fix, a brand that is pushing positivity, inspiring, encouraging, and empowering others through various interviews and uplifting music. So thank you guys for starting your weekend off out with me. The Positivity wants to welcome. All right, and so I'm just going to jump right into this. The Positivity Push wants to welcome a powerhouse into this studio. I mean, his presence and leadership goes before him. So much so that he has a book written about it. I mean, you only write books about things that you know about, and this guest right here has written a book about leadership, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that. His story of leadership and growing through the ups and downs is compelling, and the influence has increased as he's leveled up, and it's insurmountable. And in society that profits, and we're going to talk more about this, a society that profits the downfall of great leaders, my guest desires for leaders to confront and overcome past failures in order to fulfill their destined, successful future. That's what he does. He looks and finds the value and worth within young emerging leaders, and even seasoned saints, even seasoned leaders, pulling them out and really wanting them to live and maximize the capacity that's been given to them. I'm honored to have an entrepreneur, an author, a pastor, and a community advocate, Ronald Godbee, in the studio. I'm so grateful for you, sir. Ronald, say hello to the people over the airwaves.
Man, we are not in the studio. We're in Wakanda, man. You just brought us on in an amazing way, man. We're going to have a great time.
Hey, I'm so excited again that you're here. I'm so happy. I have known Ronald Godbee for 3 years, and he's been a pastor and a mentor, a leader, and such a great support system in my life and so many, and I witnessed this throughout his daily walk as a leader, and it's powerful to see. And we're going to jump in with his leadership journey, talking about things that he's learned through his many years of leadership. I mean, we were talking about just prior to this show starting. I mean, his leadership started probably way earlier, but he gave an anecdote, a scenario back when he was younger, when he was 11 years old. I was asking him about his radio career and entertainment industry career and all that stuff, and he said he started out his thing at 11 years old, y'all, and he was a radio show host, looking at profiling teenagers. I mean, he wasn't even a teen yet, and here he was interviewing teenagers at 11 years old. And so just, again, leadership oozes from him, and it's awesome. So I'm, again, so grateful that you're on, sir.
Man, the pleasure is mine. And today, we're going to take hats off, man. Yeah. You're going to be Tony, I'm going to be Ronald.
That's right.
And so, man, we're not going to go by titles. Just because a leader is not the title that they carry, it's the thing that they do. And a lot of times, man, we get those roles defined in such a way that people feel like if I'm not doing a particular thing, I'm not a leader. But today we're going to talk to the leader within, and there's a leader in all of us. Yeah. And so, man, I'm excited.
Yes, I am too. And, he's already dropping stuff. It's not about the title, it's what we do. And that's so important as leaders. What are we doing? Yeah. Because we all have that leader within us. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to cultivate it. We're going to wake up that leader this morning on the Positivity Push. But first, we're going to listen to You Gotta Be by Desiree. All right. Cool. Yeah. All right. Good morning, y'all. Thank you guys again for joining us here on the Positivity Push. Jumping right in with Ronnie Godbee in the studio.
You get to call me Ronnie.
I get to call right.
How many people get to
I
do
know.
That,
what?
How privileged you are.
Right.
How great thou art.
Right. Just for this hour, y'all. Right. Trust and believe.
After this,
I'm like,
he better not ever again.
Right. Tomorrow morning at church, I'm gonna be like, preach, Ronnie.
You say that. Preach, Ronnie. The armor bearers will be together.
They'll be scooping me up, y'all. So yes.
News at 11. White guy gets kicked out of black church.
Right.
What did he do? He
called me Ronnie.
That's gonna be a great
I know. I'm so excited. Yeah. So that's really, y'all. He's already dropping. Let me turn this down. He's already dropping some great nuggets, y'all, about doing as a leader, not necessarily being that leader and having that title as a leader, but to really do as a leader. And that's really what we are as leaders. I mean, what are we doing? And we're going to talk more about that on the airwaves, but just talk a little bit about that doing principle.
Yeah, again, we're human beings because we're doing. A lot of times, we think that, being a human being is just existing, but we discover why we exist in our doing.
Yeah.
And so it's not only that we do, it's what we do. Yeah. And we discover who we are in the things that we do. Yeah. And so, that's what when the leader in you is evidenced in the thing that you're doing. So whether it's a mom or a dad, again, man, we have so compartmentalized these ideas that we really mismanage the impact that we're all having daily as we're doing. And so, man, we should have saved that one for the air, man. That was pretty heavy, man.
Yeah. It's good stuff, y'all. So we're excited that you guys are on again this morning. If you're just joining us, y'all, feel free to share on your Facebook, because we want many people to come on and share this. We want this to be the highest viewed show yet. Ever.
I need y'all to make it the highest viewed.
I'm telling you what.
Ever.
I mean, this wraps up my second month of doing this thing, and I'm excited about it. And I've had some great guests, but this one right here, I mean, cream of the crop, and we want people to just grab. You guys know, y'all know how it is. Grab what he's dropping, and I want you guys to get that. So thank you guys. Thank you for sharing, Jessica. Appreciate you guys. Feel free also while the music's playing, if you've got questions throughout the interview or the show, feel free to drop those. And maybe putting that over the airwaves as well, and allowing you guys to share that. So feel free if you've got comments or questions. Thank you guys again. Also, tell us where you are watching from. If you're not local, where are you watching from? And share that with us, okay?
I think I see Walter up there.
Walter?
Man, you were amazing.
Oh my gosh. We were just talking about y'all.
Night.
We were
just talking about all the H. Yeah.
I'm telling you what, so good. I was just so refreshed. It was awesome to watch.
Great stuff, guys.
Awesome.
Great stuff. A lot of positive people, man.
Yeah, it's good.
You're not the only positive.
Yeah, no, I'm not. That's why I got to get all these people in as guests. Got to get them on as guests.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. All right, that was You Gotta Be. And as leaders, we gotta be some things. We gotta be, but we also gotta do. Just as my guest, Godbee, was here in the studio telling us. Again, what can I say about my guest? No words for the impact this man has had on my life. I'm just gonna speak from experience. Saying that I've had the privilege of knowing him for 3 years. He's had a gift of developing emerging leaders, including myself, and fosters these gifts within those leaders, and being their champion along the way. I'm a better man because of this man right here, my guest. I'm so blessed to sit under his leadership as my pastor and mentor and support system, and I'm so very thankful. Again, Ronnie, thank you again for joining us this morning. So we want to, this is the last Saturday of the month. And, in March, we are doing the challenge, the Make It Happen in March challenge, because in order to get something you've never had, you got to do something you've never done. So, we are going to talk about, just open up. What's something that you made happen this week? What's something you made happen?
Man, I am impacting lives on a major scale.
Yeah.
Daily taking an opportunity to plant something somewhere and into someone. Mm-hmm. And so, man, my philosophy is that we live in the harvest today of the seed that we sowed yesterday.
Yes.
A lot of times, man, we really don't understand that we can secure success. Mm-hmm. We can secure success in the principles that we function in, because there are just certain laws and rules to success that if you follow them, you will find that they have the end conclusion that they're designed to have.
Right.
Sort of like the law of gravity, man. You
right.
drop something, it's going to fall to its lowest point.
Mm-hmm.
And so daily, man, we plant seed somewhere into someone,
right.
because I'm going to live in today out of the harvest that I sowed yesterday. And so, man, when I get engaged and involved in something bigger than myself, mm-hmm. beyond myself, besides myself, then I see the exponential possibilities
right.
in all that I could, because I decided to make a decision to sow into someone else.
Yes.
Now, again, that sometimes becomes religious jargon,
mm-hmm.
but it just simply means do what you can do where
right.
you can do it,
yes.
when you can do it.
Yes.
And, man, when we do that, then, man, we see outcomes
Success.
that are beyond our comprehension.
Mm-hmm.
And so, man, every day, whether it is to visit the sick, whether it is to go and tend to the needs of someone beside myself,
yes.
then I'm daily doing that.
Yeah.
And today I'm going to live out of the harvest.
Awesome. That's exactly right. That's it right there, y'all. It's really, that's how you become successful. It's by sowing.
Yeah.
Sowing creates success. And again, that sowing could be to buy gas for somebody, or to buy somebody's groceries, or to visit the sick. I mean, the sowing principle is just, it really does add to this whole success of our lives. And we're going to talk more about success as leaders. But, one thing that I made happen this week is I led a phenomenal management meeting at my work, and it was very powerful. It really allowed me to grow as a leader, grow as an influential entity in my industry and in my business. And so I'm grateful for that opportunity. So y'all, this is it. Even though the month is over, continue to make things happen. I want to encourage and inspire you to make things happen, because the success comes by sowing and by doing, right? So let's keep that in mind.
Let me just jump in right there and take over your show.
Do it. It's all you.
mean, you said a powerful thing, man, and that is that we're growing as leaders. I think that so many people avoid leadership because they believe that, man, you got to come in as like this full-grown man or woman as a leader. Right. And the truth of the matter is, daily we're growing, we're evolving, we're becoming better leaders today than we were yesterday. Yeah. And so we don't need to opt out of leadership because I look at someone like yourself and say, oh man, Antonio's doing the positivity push, and man, he's got a radio show and he's doing this and he's doing that, and he is maximizing on so many levels. So because I'm at a lesser level, that means that I'm not a leader. No, they're just watching someone grow in their leadership. Right. And so, that's what I always tell people. Don't get intimidated, get inspired. Yeah. And so never be intimidated by greatness. Be inspired, because what you're seeing is your possibilities in your face. Yes. And so whenever you're seeing a growing leader and a great leader, be inspired to begin your process in your journey towards leadership. That's
so good. And I'm thinking about just the analogy of the new mom versus a mother who's been a mom for 18, 20 years. That mom, there's different levels there, but both are leaders, right? Yeah. Both are growing and nurturing their child, but you got a brand new mom who's kind of freaking out like, okay, what am I doing? Versus the mom who's...
Dude, she's watching the mom who's got the baby on the hip, cooking, and, and cleaning and doing this and doing that and doing a spreadsheet. And doing all, and she's like, I could never do that. No, you're just watching someone who grew into the ability to do that, because they began their journey. And so we've got to be inspired to at some point begin the journey.
Yes. And what I also love is when you're inspired, continue to look for those possibilities, because again, we can miss them. We can really miss the possibilities if we're intimidated. So grow in that, learn how to be inspired, and look for those possibilities. I'm telling y'all, we're not even barely in this interview, and we're already jumping in. It's good stuff. Today's topic, again, is really about developing the leader within. One of the many quotes I've heard my guests say is, they make a lot of money on your rise to the top, but they make more money on your fall to the bottom. And leadership has its ups and downs. But if we learn to maximize the lessons learned, there will definitely be more ups than downs. It is time to wake up the leader within with my guest, Ronald Godbee. So let's jump right in. Tell us a little bit about your leadership journey, growing up, and again, what do you consider your best qualities as a leader, and what qualities define a great leader?
Yeah, great question, man. The journey has been a difficult one. And it should. Difficulty puts a demand on the leader within. A lot of times we think that the pathway to being a great leader is comfortability. And that's really the antidote to your greatness, or it's the thing that will kill and it will stifle your leadership growth and development. Right. And so my path has been an extremely difficult one. Yeah. I think that great leaders are developed in extremely difficult places. Right. And so there's somebody listening to me now, you really don't understand why life is the way that it is. And it is that way because in the midst of darkness, pictures are developed. Right. Under pressure, diamonds are produced. Yeah. And so it's in the midst of difficulty, it's in the vacuum and the void that you discover vision. Right. These are the places that we've been taught stay away from. But those are the places that leaders are developed in. Yeah. And so people who are under pressure, people who are in difficult places, people who are in dark places, people who are seemingly in the throes and the grips of life are really being prepared for their greatest moments as a leader. Yeah. And so, man, beginning with the dad who had 5 heart attacks, 3 open heart surgeries, and 2 strokes, a mom with MS, You know, growing up on the east side of Detroit, I tell people Eminem was on 8 Mile, I was on 7 Mile. I grew up in the hood, man.
Right.
You know, all of these things, man, you know, living a life that, you know, choosing to go from a middle class family to hanging out in the streets and selling drugs and, you know, bringing sometimes and heaping upon myself some pressures that possibly weren't a part of my journey, but that I had to experience. Going through those dark, difficult places put a demand on what was placed within.
Yeah.
And it's always the voice of Goliath that pulls out the warrior in David.
Right.
And so for me, it was the voice of life that put a demand on the leader within. And sometimes life can happen to you, man. You know.
Did you know you had a leader within at that age growing up?
No, no. You know, again, man, you know, I wanted to fit. Yeah. And so, and we talked about this before the show. Sometimes fitting and following disturbs and disrupts the leader that is within you. We want so to fit in the crowd.
Yes.
But in order to lead the orchestra, the conductor has to turn his back to the crowd.
That's right.
And so we want to be so much a part of the crowd, man. We want to fit. But the truth of the matter is leaders cannot fit amongst the crowd. And so one of my greatest frustrations is being a leader and fitting at the same time.
Right.
And I just had to discover, man, that I had to make a decision that I had to turn my back to the crowd.
Right.
And so, man, so that started to pull out of me the leader that was within.
Sure.
And I started to discover the diamonds in those difficult places and the great treasures and the nuggets that was placed inside of me. And man, then that's what started to develop the toughness. That's what started to develop the character, the integrity, all of those things that are needed to lead.
Right.
You see, those are things that are developed.
Yes.
You know, again, we think that we've got to be the perfect person and we think that we've got to be polished in every area. Oh, no, man. Have you seen a diamond when it's initially mined?
Right, right.
It looks nothing like the end product.
Yes.
And so, again, man, we look at diamonds that have been under the hands of a craftsman and we see the end result and we see all the many facets and we say, man, I don't shine like that, so I'm not a leader. No, you're just seeing coal in the hands of a creative craftsman that has done something brilliant with that thing that has been buried.
Wow.
And so, man, we've got to let people put their hands on us.
Yeah.
We've got to find mentors and we've got to find other great leaders who can get us in that place and start to reveal the many facets of our leadership.
I love it, love it. So what I'm getting here, and again, those qualities, perseverance, flexibility, learning how to be flexible with life's challenges, and also be willing to be peculiar and unique. I mean, we're called to be set apart and be different, and that's powerful stuff. I'm telling you, like this right here is showing us again the fortitude that we have to have in order to be a leader. Like we've got to get through those developing stages to emerge and grow. Well, I want to ask you, as a great leader that you are, who are some great role models in your life that have exemplified leadership, and why?
Yeah, man. You know, and I've always tried to find my leaders from people who were in my face, my examples from people who were touchable, approachable, people that I could get wisdom and counsel from.
Sure.
You know, a lot of times, man, I think that we grab our models from places where we can't be mentored in. You know, so we look at the celebrities, somebody at a distance. Man, but I found my heroes in people that were near. People that I could ask questions. So I found my heroes again in my pastors, in people that were in my face, community leaders, you know, government officials, people that I could call and ask the question. That's sometimes what's wrong with this generation. We want photo ops and not friendships. So we want Facebook posts and we want Instagram posts, but we really don't want people that we're connected to. So I don't follow anybody on Facebook that I don't know. I don't follow anybody on Instagram that I don't have a relationship with. Right. Because we can give a facade of believing that we know someone, and we can place that as an image and an idea for leadership. Right. And we have people in our in our photos who are not in our face, who can have no investment in our lives.
Right.
So why do I want to post a picture of myself with somebody who's pointing at me? And the reason that they're pointing at me is they're really saying, who is this in this picture with me?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't know you. You know, like, help somebody get me away from this psycho who's following me.
Right.
No. So man, I've always made it a point to only publicly display people who I have personal relationship with.
Yes.
Somebody that I can call.
Mm-hmm.
You know, dude, saying that you know somebody means nothing.
Right.
Can you call them when you're in need?
Right.
And so, man, I've always taken my key from people that I could pick up a phone.
Yeah.
Put in a call. Get some wisdom, get the download, get the advice. Could I ask you about a business deal and you give me the strategy?
Right.
Can you tell me the secrets? And so if you have people in your life who won't share with you, they're good, they're bad, they're ugly, they are not mentors.
Right.
Mentorship is people who will come to your face, look on your level, tell you their mistakes, tell you what they did right, and tell you what they did wrong. If you only got people who tell you they're right, then that's not the person that you need in your face as a leader.
Right. I mean, and that to me shows our integrity. If I don't know him and I'm getting a picture with him, what's that saying about myself? I mean, it really disqualifies and discredits my leadership ability just because I'm hanging out with the best of the best. You know what I'm saying? So that's powerful to note. Also, again, what do you think, why is it that you think that this generation really is looking for that photo op? I mean, what's different in this generation of young leaders? What's going on there?
We're looking for affirmation and not information.
Okay.
And so, dude, whenever you think that a photo affirms you, then that's what you put out. But a photo can bring you affirmation, but information brings you wealth.
Okay.
And so I don't want your affirmation. I want your information.
Right.
So I always tell great people that I sit before, like, I don't want nothing from you. I don't want a photo op. I want your information.
Right.
Because it's your information that makes you who you are.
Right.
And so, man, if I can't get a download from you, if I can't get instruction and information from you, what in the world is your affirmation going to do but put me in a place that I don't have the information to keep me in?
That's
and so, dude, I'm after information. And if this generation shifts from affirmation to information, then, dude, that's when we're going to tap into the genius and the wisdom of this current generation. And this is what they're going to have. They're not going to just have their information, but they're going to have the information that comes from a generation before them, which is going to make you guys a secret weapon and something to be reckoned with.
Yes, because again, that transference of information on and on through the generations only enriches our lives.
Absolutely.
It really creates just a compounded effect in our lives to make us a little bit better than the previous one. I think there's a culture in Africa, and it should be really in every culture, but I know I have some Nigerian friends that it's their custom and culture to the previous generation, the parents really require and really put a lot of pressure on their children to become better than them. So if they were, this kind of doctor, they need to be this kind of doctor, going up higher. Again, putting that, and again, that should be a mentality we all have, but we really want us to have a greater generation coming up. I'm telling you, this is good stuff. Again, you're listening to The Positivity Push on WCOM FM with my guest, Ronald Godbee, a great leader in his right, an author, entrepreneur. I want to ask as well, we talked about role models, we talked about some mentors in your life, in your leadership journey, and the power of sowing and how that creates success. I want to ask you about the failures, though. Do you believe that failures are important in the mix of creating a great leader?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think that you have to learn what you don't need to know.
Okay.
And I think that you need to have the experience of what you don't want to do, so that when you feel the burn, you never go back down that path.
Right.
So I think that if lessons are properly learned, then they can be the most valuable experiences that we could ever have.
Yes.
Now, sometimes your education is expensive.
Right.
And
That's
you're going to pay
right.
for it, whether it's walking through the hallways of Harvard or doing something stupid in the hood.
Right.
You're going to discover that your education will come through your experiences. And the old adage says that experience is the best teacher.
Right.
And so it is having those experiences. Now, here's the problem. We have learned to excuse experience.
Right.
And not draw the value from the experience.
Okay.
So we put it off on so many things, man, especially church people, man.
Yeah.
We're good at hyper mysticizing stuff, man, and making it mystical and deep and revelatory. And the thing is, you just need to recognize, man, I shouldn't have done that.
Right. That's it. Period.
And like, I'll never do that again.
Right.
Like, fire hot. Don't touch it, you know? And that's what we need to walk away with, man, is the value of the experience and not excuse it away as if it was for someone else.
Right.
I tell people, if it happens to you, it's for you.
For you, that's it.
Don't excuse it away. Understand it. Put that thing in your heart, put it in your mind so that you can grow from that. All right. So again, we try to get out instead of grow out.
Yes.
But a wise person doesn't try to get out of the experience. They try to grow out of the experience. And the way that you grow out is to understand why it happened and why it should never happen again.
Yes. Yes.
So there are things that I learned on my lesser levels that will keep me from repeating them on my greater levels. So that as I ascend into the higher ranks and tiers of life, that I don't have the crying tears, you know, because I'm lamenting the places that I kicked over the bucket of milk that I just spent all my life trying to produce. And that's what's wrong with so many great leaders, man. They get to the top only to kick over their bucket because they didn't learn from their failures and from their mistakes. And so, man, failures are a great thing, man.
Yeah, it's the greatest teacher, trust. I'm telling you, and it's not really just for yourself. I mean, the failures, the lessons learned there is not really just for yourself. It's going to help other people. I'm telling you, there's going to come an experience after you've felt that burn where you're seeing somebody about to touch the fire and you're like, hold up. Let me teach you a little thing or two. And I'm telling you, I've witnessed it. I've experienced it myself. It really is rewarding, really, to be honest. I mean, to get through the failure and come out on the other side, it's rewarding to witness and see that, hey, I can teach somebody else about this. You know, I didn't do that. I didn't get through. And again, it's just that sowing principle. What can I do to make your life a little bit better, enrich your life,
you know
successful?
What, man? You know, and I got to
please
cut across
go ahead.
you right there, man. You know, because we're so stingy with our failures, you know, and we don't want to show people
the scars.
Like, but dude, that's the strength of leadership, is to be vulnerable enough to show people where you've been the victim. You know, and so you can say, hey, don't go down that road. You know, the power of my preaching is not that I'm so prolific, it's that I say, hey, don't do that. I did that. It didn't work. Yeah, man. So, you know, so a lot of times you guys think I'm just on your back, man. He's so hard. He's so difficult. Nah, it's like I'm screaming and I'm telling y'all like, hey, don't do that. I did it. It didn't work. You know? Don't do that.
And again, it's rewarding for you, and then ultimately for the people that you are leading. So that leader again really learns from their failures, learns from their mistakes, because again, it's in those places, the dark places, where you're being developed. That's when your picture really is coming into full, you know, all of its glory. You know, showing up and showing out, and it's really learning about who you are. So this perseverance of becoming a leader is paramount. It's important. And we are going to jump right back in with my guest, Ronald Godbee. Right after this song, we're going to take a quick break. Michael Jackson, the king of pop. Don't stop till you get enough.
Don't stop till you get
Hey, all right. We got Michael in the studio, in the house. Well, who needs this song? No, but don't stop, y'all. We are all leaders. I don't need you to stop. We need you to don't stop until you get enough. All right, here we go. All right. Y'all enjoying this?
Share.
We got 30 people watching right now, which is good, but more on the way, I'm sure. Thank you guys for joining us this morning. Thank you guys for joining us. I'm telling you, this is like we're Studio 54 type stuff, right? Right. No, but y'all, thank you guys. Thank you so much, Ashley. I'm glad you're enjoying this. Mr. Kevin Edwards, thank you. Miss Leah Michelle, thank you for joining.
Mike George. Dude, I was just talking about you last night, man.
Awesome.
You the man.
Yes.
That dude right there.
Yes.
Mike George is that dude.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He was a guest. He was like my guest on here, like third guest or second guest on here. Yeah,
Mike,
awesome.
how did you make it
Love
on
you,
Positivity Push before me, man?
Hey, I think it was your schedule. That's what it is. Your itinerary.
I'm feeling some kind of way. I always knew you were greater than me, but now it's proven.
There you go.
Dude,
you go.
You made it to Positivity Push before me, man.
Well, you know, nothing but love. Good morning, y'all. Miss Carnithia Robinson, thank you. Miss Jonna,
hey, lady.
Thank you all so much again for joining us. I hope you guys are enjoying this interview, y'all. I mean, to sit here for an hour and listen to this, I could PG is a walking radio show. I'm telling you, he is.
I've been doing this since I was 11.
11, right. Team profile. Up in Detroit.
Y'all don't know nothing about that.
I just learned.
He just learned. Y'all don't know nothing about that.
There's some teenagers that he interviewed that's probably amazing doing their thing now.
Man, senators. One of my good friends is a senator, United States Senator.
Wow.
And so on and so forth. So many great people came out of that. And shout out to Dr. Mary Wilkes. Man.
Yeah.
Man, she was responsible for so much. And I had an opportunity to see her, man, years ago.
Yeah.
And really give her a chance to see the fruit of her labor, man. There's so many people. My brother was on there.
That's
He's
awesome.
Chief of Police.
Right.
You know, man, she produces greatness, man.
Hey. Yeah. There you go. Love it. So thank you guys again for joining us. Share on your Facebook if you've not done so, because this interview is going to help so many people. Because again, we all are leaders, right? And to have that leader develop just by this interview, some strategies and some nuggets of rich, wisdom. It's powerful stuff, y'all. So thank you guys again for joining us. Push that positivity out on your Facebook page and allow people to grow that leader within y'all. Thank you guys again for joining us. Again, if y'all have questions, feel free to ask those. We're already halfway through, more than halfway through, and so good stuff.
We're almost done.
I know. It flies by.
Right.
I told people I need to have like a 2-hour show, not a 1 hour. So, y'all. I'm glad you're inspired, Miss Ashley. Thank you again.
I didn't get home till like 12:30 at night.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be here for nobody else.
I appreciate it.
Man, that 6 o'clock game.
I know. And he was like, text me, make sure I'm good at 7. Hey, sir, you up? Right. And he was on his way.
I was on my way.
He was good. Man. That Red Bull does wonders.
I don't live far from here.
Yeah.
I'm about 15 minutes from here. Yeah.
That's not bad.
If that. No, really. Yeah, about 15 minutes, man.
And this, I'm telling you, Carborough is a unique...
I love Carborough.
Yeah,
it's my hangout.
Yeah, it's a unique
Me and Pastor
spot.
Carla run these streets.
Hey, running the streets.
We be on Franklin.
I mean, who's Jay-Z and Beyonce when you got Ronald and Pastor Carla?
Hey, man, I had a dream the other night.
Yeah.
Pastor Carla and I were on vacation with Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Oh, my gosh.
Where did that come
Come on, prophetic. Let's just say that's prophetic.
On vacation with Jay. Maybe we were giving them some
were you? Right, maybe. Where were y'all?
Man.
Do you know where?
I don't remember, but we were on vacation, man.
I love
What kind of dream is that, dude?
That's a good dream. It's not a nightmare. It's a good
I hope
dream.
they were paying.
Right. They're paying for it. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm going to fade this out. We're not going to... Cool. All right, y'all. Stay tuned. Here we go. All right. That was the King of Pop with Don't Stop Until You Get Enough, Michael Jackson. I've got Ronald Godbee here in the studio, entrepreneur, author, pastor, community advocate. He's a great leader in his own right, and I'm so grateful that he's here. We're talking about leadership and growing and inspiring and developing the leader within. And we're just going to jump right back into this. He's the author of a book, Why Leaders Fail. You won't be handed success until you learn how to handle failure. I've read this book a couple times. Notes, highlights, all up in this thing, because it is such a rich book that really inspires me, develops me, and it really allows the leader to grow from a different perspective. I mean, there's different leaders within the book that's highlighted, and it really shows the faults, failures, and even the growth process of these leaders. And it's awesome to look at that. We're going to talk a little bit more about that in a second. But let me ask you, Ronald, if you could speak to your younger self on the first day of your leadership role, what would you tell that younger self?
Stop being stupid, man. You know, again, every experience you're not anointed for, you know. Yeah. I mean, there are some things that are not essential to the ascension. You know, some experiences you give yourself. Yeah. And they're not sovereignly or divinely given. And, you know, man, like we talked about before coming on, there were so many places that I missed it. Yeah. So many things that I could have maximized. And here I am at 47, as successful and as good as I think I look sometimes. Right. hey, fresh. Man, the truth of the matter is I should be so much further ahead. Right. Now, some people aren't going to say that. Yeah, you know, they're going to look at their millionaire status and not tell you that I should be worth 100 million. Right, you know what I'm saying? They're going to always qualify that thing as if they are where they desire to be. But the truth of the matter is, man, sometimes we do things that if we're honest with ourselves, the survivor in us that was developed in those dark places gave us the intestinal fortitude to get where we are. Yeah. But the truth of the matter is, we should still be so much further than where we really are. Right. And man, I'm honest with myself, and I'm like, man, there were so many things that, you know, disrupted destiny. We talked about that before we came on, man. Yeah, you know, there's some things that can disrupt destiny. There's some things that can delay destiny, and there are some things that you will endure that were not necessarily essential to you making it to destiny. So, man, I would go back and tell myself, hey, listen here, stupid. Right. Get it together. Let's build upon this, man. Let's not keep having to start the momentum over and over and over again. One thing about greatness is, man, and strength is you can get stuff started. Yes. But how many times are you going to have to start over? Right. That's the question.
That's it. Because that start over, I mean, the setbacks really just hinder and disrupt your destiny. I mean, the plan, the purpose for your life, that really does disrupt those setbacks. It's really not, we were talking about that. There's really not detours. Yeah. It's really disruption. I mean, all things do work together for the good. However, it may be a different good than the good that was planned for that time and for your life. And so that's important to note. And I love that you're so transparent and even, you know, vulnerable to tell your younger self, hey, you know what? Don't be stupid, you know, and get it together. Realize the possibilities and opportunities you have afforded to you, and don't mess those up. What common strategies, and I know we talked about having role models and mentors in your life and really pushing through those failures and setbacks. But what strategies would you provide for those aspiring leaders, those leaders that are growing?
Yeah, leaders are readers, man. Okay. I mean, very simple. Yeah. You know, dude, there's so many ways that you can equip yourself and educate yourself. So, you know, we talked about it before we came on, and I was telling, you know, a couple people this week, you know, we think that leaders are either born or they're made. And I say that they're both. Leadership is a skill set. Okay. Now, there are certain attributes and certain, you know, earmarks that I can't give to you because there are attitudes to leadership. Yes. Attitudes come with those who have been born to lead. But there are skill sets that can be given to leaders. And so you can grow and develop your skill set of leadership. You know, it's called education.
Right. That's it. A book.
Yeah, a book. You know, like open that up, read up on what you're doing.
Right.
Find someone, get them in your face who has maximized what you're aspiring to be or to do. And so, man, you know, again, a lot of times we opt out because we believe that because we don't have the attitudes of leadership and because we don't have certain earmarks of leadership that we can't develop the leader within, but you can.
Yeah.
And so it's developing the skill sets, educating yourself, equipping yourself for the assignment that's ahead of you. Don't just, again, be intimidated by it,
right,
but understand that I can grow in this area.
Yes.
Now, you know, I may not come out, you know, etched in the annals of time as one of the greatest leaders to ever live, but I can become better in that area, not only for myself, but for everyone that I serve.
Right.
And I think that that we owe it to ourselves and to those that we're serving to build that skill set of leadership.
Right.
Learn something, develop something, read something. Be something more today than you were yesterday.
Yes.
You owe it to yourself.
That's exactly right. I love that. The attitude versus the skill set of leadership. You know, not everybody may have the attitude, but we can all have the skill set through education and reading and learning, right? So I'm telling you, we've got maybe 10 minutes left. But I really have got to talk about this book, Why Leaders Fail. You won't be handed success until you learn how to handle failure, by my guest, Ronald Godbee. I'm telling you, there is one, and I've looked at this over and over again. There's one quote in here. We have a slingshot mentality. We work on our aim and never prepare for the fame our aim will bring. I want to talk a little bit about that, but let me just kind of talk more about what this book is about. And just kind of a synopsis. Being a leader does not mean we are absent of flaws. On the contrary, it means we have the ability to overcome them. Why then do we fall? Why do great leaders have great failures? Why does a successful person face the areas they are not successful in? Are you ordained but still leaning toward the things you should have left behind? Again, it's just talking more and more about what this book is about and what we've been talking about this whole interview. Are we really focusing on the things that are our failures and the things that we're not ordained for? I want to talk more about this quote in particular. Yeah. You know, we have a slingshot mentality. We work on our aim and never prepare for the fame our aim will bring. Talk about that. That just blows my mind right there.
Yeah, man. You know, again, Michael Jackson wanted to sing.
Yeah.
You know, Michael Jordan wanted to play basketball. It's the thing that is in our heart to do, the thing that we desire to do, that we do well,
right,
that brings us this measure of success, be it monetarily, be it, you know, presence, be it whatever. It heaps upon us something that we didn't ask for.
Right.
And while we're working on our notes, while we're working on our jump shot, nobody's telling us that you need to work on what this is going to bring to you. Because, see, I wanted to sing. I didn't want people digging through my garbage.
Right.
I didn't want paparazzi following me around, taking pictures of every move that I make.
Sure.
So it's what the fame attracts to me that I need to prepare for.
Yes.
Because innately given to me is this gift. All I'm doing is honing it. So I really have no control over the gift, but I do have control over how I handle what this gift brings to me.
Right.
So we spend so much time working on the jump shot, but we don't work on, you know, how we're going to handle the public. Nobody teaches us how we're going to manage our money. Nobody teaches us how to manage the things that fame brings us.
Yeah.
And so that's why there's the money that's made on our ascension, but then they make just as much money on our downfall.
Right.
But if we would teach more people how to handle what comes with the fame, then we wouldn't have the fall.
And not even just the good stuff, not even just the monetary, you know, increase and that kind of thing. But spotlights really do show.
Oh yeah.
The good, bad, and ugly.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, and so to prepare for that as leaders, I mean, how do you do that?
Yeah, man. Again, we have to look at the broader range of an individual. We have to look at them holistically. and we have to stop building them out for what they can do for our bottom line.
Right.
You see, we as, business owners, as sports team owners,
Sure.
as, entertainers, we need to build the person out holistically. And that is, again, not to just hone their craft, but to help them develop their character.
Right.
You see, again, man, you could take a kid out the hood and you could put a basketball in his hand. He can make it to the NBA. But if you never spent time developing him to get the hood out of him,
Right.
then he's just going to be a millionaire that's got a whole lot of hood in him.
Right.
And now you got the money to be who you really are.
Right.
And so it amazes me that we don't spend time developing people's character. We don't spend time developing their identity, and then we indict them when we give them enough money to be who they really are. And so, man, we've got to do a better job of building people, and not building careers. But we've got to go back into caring for the people who will carry the careers.
Right.
You see? And man, if we don't spend more time doing that, and if we don't build out the holistic person, then we're going to see a whole lot of failures and a whole lot of falls. And so we want you to make your fall before you ascend to the penthouse. We want you to fall when you're in the basement. Nobody dies from a basement.
No.
But man, you fall from the penthouse. You got a problem, man.
That's powerful. I mean, and again, just learning how to prepare for that fame, learning how to prepare, because again, we may not have the attitude, but we have the opportunity to develop and hone and craft our skill set to be, successful, famous, on top of the world. And if we're not able to carry that world on our shoulders, it's going to crush us. So that's so powerful. Again, Why Leaders Fail. I got a best-selling author here in the studio, Ronald Godbee, and I want you to check this out. Go buy it on Amazon. Why Leaders Fail. I also posted on the Positivity Push Facebook page for you guys to go check this out. It's been 3 years. This week marks 3 years for you. I'm asking, when's your next book?
Man, we're working on it, man.
All right.
We speak.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. So listen, I mean, I'm so grateful. We're going to wrap this up with just some positive PowerPoints, some things that we're taking away from this interview. What are some final words that you have for the leader within?
Yeah, you can't be thin-skinned, guys. If somebody can't talk about you on Facebook, you're certainly not going to be able to handle it when they're writing about you in the Post and in the Times and all of these other periodicals. You're developed in darkness for a reason. You're developed in difficulty for a reason. And that is because when you get to where you're going, you got to be tough. People don't talk about, man, the tenacity and the toughness of a leader. But you got to be tough. Can I just break it down and make it real simple? Man, be tough. Don't tweet. Be tough. Yeah, be tough. You know what I'm saying?
Because we know if you're not tough, you may be tweeting.
Yeah, you may be tweeting.
But just be tough.
And taking yourself down from the place that you've ascended to.
That's it.
And so, man, that's one thing I just want to leave everybody with.
That's good.
You're developing those places for a reason. To thicken your skin. To let you know that you're greater than you know. And if you would just lean to the greatness in you and stop listening to the darkness around you, you should be so familiar with those dark places, with those pressure-packed places, that when you get to the place that you aspire to be in, you should not be overtaken with the stuff that's coming against you.
That's it.
So be tough today.
Yeah, be tough today. Be tough and develop that leader within you. I'm telling you, I am so grateful again for my guest, Ronald Godbee, in the house, in the studio. Entrepreneur, author, community advocate, and pastor. Plug yourself away. I mean, he is the pastor. I'll do it for you. The pastor of the River Church, located in Durham, North Carolina. It's the city's church. We're impacting Durham, Raleigh, all communities around and beyond, and it's just powerful. Anything else you'd like to wrap up with?
Yeah, man. Again, I'm just proud of the work that you're doing, and let me plug you. You know, stay connected to Positivity Push. You know, there are very few people who want to inject and impart something in our community, in our society, that inspires people to go beyond where they are.
Yes.
And we need people now more than ever that will inspire a community and impart courage and wisdom in them to move past the dark places in their lives.
Yes,
Stay
wow.
connected.
Thank you so much. Again, thank you guys. And that is our show. Thank you so much for joining us on the Positivity Push live here on 103.5 WCOM FM, Chapel Hill, Carborough Community Radio. Check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/The Positivity Push. Go like the page and share the broadcast this morning. I want to thank again my guest, Ronald Godbee, for joining us this morning. Have a great winning weekend, and always remember, be positive.
Good morning.
All right.
Good morning, ma'am. How are you?
Good morning.
I'm doing good. How are you?
Great.
How are
yourself?
you? This is Bluegrass Becky.
Bluegrass Becky.
Right?
Hi.
How are you
doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I am
Ronald.
great. This
Definitely
is
a
Ronald.
pleasure.
Come on over here. Give me a hug.
Yeah,
Give
absolutely.
me some sugar, you kill.
That's
Mike.
right.
All right, y'all.
I'm good.
Thank you guys again for joining us.
Great.
We're going to wrap this up, this Facebook Live. Thank you guys again for joining us. Again, now that it's 9 o'clock, I have to call him Pastor Godbee. We're back to Pastor Bishop-elect Godbee. Thank you so much again for joining me this morning. Appreciate it. Thank you guys for joining me. Y'all continue to share this. Continue to do your thing. And we got Becky, Bluegrass Becky in the house as well. She's filling in.
Yeah.
So, all right, y'all. Y'all have a great day, and we'll be in touch. All right. See you guys next week.